Hello, I'm AFSCME Council 31 Corrections Liaison Chuck Stout here with a new edition of AFSCME Corrections Update. This video will update you on important things happening in the Department of Corrections based on the work of your Standing Committee and Council 31 staff. Following more than 2 years of intensive pressure from the AFSCME Standing Committee, a mail scanning program is finally working every day at every facility in the state. Early indications are that the new system is making a significant difference in reducing drug use and exposure incidents. AFSCME staff have closely monitored the program in its first weeks, touring facilities to identify any initial issues in need of resolution. 2 such issues, inmate family photos and massive court transcripts, have already been addressed based on feedback from members at Lawrence Correctional Center and Robinson Correctional Center during these tours. While our union is continuing to monitor the mail scanning program, it is important to recognize the significant progress we've made in persuading IDOC to implement the program to reduce drug use in Illinois prisons. There still may be bumps in the road for permanent implementation of the mail scanning program. The change in departmental rules is subject to the approval of the Joint Committee on Administrative Rules, or JCAR. The emergency mail scanning rule is currently in effect, but at a hearing last month, legislators on JCAR raised a number of concerns about the implementation process. AFSCME legislative staff have played a key role in helping the department navigate this complex process. One objection was that there had not been a public hearing to allow for comments on the rule. To that end, IDOC held a public hearing last week. While more than a dozen opponents of mail scanning testified, AFSCME was the only organization there to testify in support of the mail scanning program. Nick McLaughlin from Graham Correctional Center and Tennille Fitzgerald from Lawrence presented powerful testimony conveying the dangers caused by offender drug use in state prisons. In 2022, AFSCME's grievance against IDOC resulted in an arbitrator's ruling that the department must take stronger measures to protect employees' health and safety on the job. With assaults and offender drug use continuing with no end in sight, it is clear that management is not doing enough to comply with that award. So, Council 31 is returning to the arbitrator to argue for serious material changes in management's approach to staff safety. Our union will press in these hearings for a much clearer ruling that lays out specific direction for what management must do to keep corrections employees safe on the job. The hearings began last week with 2 days of compelling testimony from corrections employees and are expected to continue into next year. Since Centurion Health took over from Wexford as the new vendor for health services in IDOC, Council 31 has diligently pressed the company to not only adhere to the current contract, but to address pay issues and other persistent problems caused by the transition. In response, Centurion announced a major adjustment in across-the-board wages consistent with the current union contract language regarding what happens when the company hires new employees above their current rates of pay in the salary band. These continue to be challenging times for correctional employees, and we need to be prepared to face those challenges together as one strong union. We hope each of you can take a moment to enjoy the comfort of family and friends over the holidays, and that you're ready to take up the fight in the coming months.